especially the Chinese dragon seal, which even has the 2 holes in it. Here we see one of the earliest painted dragons, created in the year 1244 AD. This is one dragon of a total of 9, taken from a hand scroll, called the 9 Dragons, which is now located at the Museum of Fine Art, in Boston, USA. Imagine this. You live in an era without advanced technology. Suddenly you see something incredible, but you have never seen anything like this before, and do not know how to describe it. What do? You start looking around you for objects you know, and you use multiple objects in combination to make a thorough description. My theory is that the Chinese, and other nations as well, saw smaller types of these alien machines on Earth. They archive these events, describing them in stories, making sketches, paintings, and even portray them on shields, banners and flags. Or does this sound strange? How would the ancient Chinese portray a dragon? My theory is that they used specific animal parts to describe it. A Chinese dragon has 9 anatomical features: the head of a camel or horse, the ears like a cow, the fiery eyes of a demon, the horns of a deer or stag, a long neck like a serpent, the scales of a carp, the belly of a frog, the paws of a tiger with 3 or 5 toes, the claws of an eagle with 3 or 5 nails. Also mentioned in ancient descriptions, the dragon has a long beard, spines on the back, a foot rule, which is a large device on the head, and stretched or folded wings. According to Chinese legends, the first dragon ever seen appeared in the sky around 4000 BC. So is the alien machine a Chinese dragon, and does it have the same anatomical features? Did you expect this? This machine has remarkable similarities with the list of animals the Chinese used to portray a dragon, but why should the dragon be of golden or copper color? Looking at the animals and the colors of the animal parts, we see something remarkable. The head of a camel is brown or light orange, the horns of deer white and brown, the fiery eyes of a demon are yellow or orange like fire, the colors of a tiger's paw are yellow, copper and orange, eagle claws are mostly brown and yellow, the belly of a frog is described as white, brown or yellow, and the scales of a carp often look brown, copper or golden. This indeed looks like the colors in our machine. We now have seen that the alien machine has some of the anatomical features of a Chinese dragon, but is there more that substantiates my alien dragon theory? As a matter of fact, there is. Take a look at this image for example. Dragons had an almost unlimited range of supernatural powers. They could shapeshift, change their color, as an effective form of camouflage, or they could glow in the dark. The colors of Chinese dragons vary, but most dragons vary from greenish to golden. They have a series of alternating short and long spines extending down their backs, and along their tails, where they become longer. The dragon has long tendril-like whiskers, extending from either side of its mouth, which it uses for feeling its way along the bottom of muddy ponds. Under its chin or floating just out of reach, the dragon has a bright shining pearl, and on the head a device, which is called the pole shan, or foot rule. Without this, the dragon cannot fly. The scales of the dragon's throat are reversed, and when a dragon exhales, it produces clouds of fire or rain. The dragon's breath changes into clouds, comes out as fire or rain. Is fire to be interpreted as lightning, or in other words, an electrical discharge, and rain to be seen as the spraying of fluids? Here's another myth. Where dragon blood is spilled, and has been spilt in the distant past, no vegetation will grow. Could this be a reference to environmental pollution? That dragons used chemicals on soil and polluted the earth? When the Chinese would see this alien machine flying through the heavens, lit by sunlight, What would it look like? Perhaps like a dragon on fire, and is that why dragons spit fire? Many ancient Chinese drawings show flames coming from the dragon's feet. Underneath the machine and on the moon's surface, we see tentacle-like objects. In the painting we recognize the two long antennae or whiskers, and we see those as well in our alien object, so we found two more similarities. I already showed you a strange print near the Zeeman crater. This looked like the print of a boot, or the foot of a machine. What I have not shown you, is a further enhancement of this print. To reveal the footprint of the dragon, I used software called BAS Relief. We have found all important anatomical and additional features of the dragon, except one, the bright shining pearl. As I mentioned before, the obfuscation technique they used did not allow complete exposure of the machine all at once. With each level of contrast, new details became visible while others disappeared. After I took two color images and merged them, the bright pearl became visible, but not just the pearl. I admit that it does not 100% look like a pearl, but it is located exactly under the chin, as in the dragon description, and you can clearly see that it is much brighter than its surroundings, as it literally shines. Here is the process made visible. Two images merged together, with a software called 2pic. This is the merged image. The pearl is shining very bright, and clearly visible underneath the dragon's head. Can you see it? Besides the pearl, something else, and also an interesting part of the machine, became visible. A second leg on the left side of the machine. One that is not standing on the moon's surface, but appears to be lifted, so was the dragon in motion while it was photographed by Clementine. This is what I consider as the back of the machine, and it looks like the leg indeed does not touch the moon's surface. Two other very interesting parts of the dragon are the pole shan, or foot rule on top of the head, and the extendable neck, with the scales running in two directions. The ones on the throat are reversed, and go from left to right. I wish I could have revealed more, but the machine appears to be partially transparent and translucent, and that makes it for me very difficult to bring out more details. Is there anyone who could confirm the existence of alien technology on the moon? Yes, people who have said to testify for the United States Congress, as part of the UFO Disclosure Project. Unfortunately, the Paradigm Research Group was not interested in my research, and did not care about my findings, so I hope that someone, one day, will come forward, and confirm the Clementine cover-up, and the existence of these alien dragons. Project Golden Dragon started back in 1998, and I had no idea of the incredible things I would discover. You have just seen a very small part of my research, and I hope that it has opened your eyes. We are not alone in the universe. Dragons visited us in the past, possibly looking for material to excavate. They left Earth, as perhaps they did not find what they were searching for, or the dragons did not want to further endanger life on this planet. Fact is that the presence of dragons was documented by the Chinese, and many other nations. To science, dragons never existed, as we never found bones or other pieces of evidence, and therefore we have never paid real attention to the possibility that dragons really exist. In my view, we should reconsider our way of thinking regarding ancient aliens, as perhaps some of the weird creatures we see in statues, in drawings, and have read about in historical documents, are not just inventions. Earth is no longer of interest to dragons, as else we would have seen them walking around. They appear to be non-hostile, so have we made contact? Was contact denied? Have they warned us not to interfere with their activities on the moon? It is time that we get full disclosure from our government, as I do not believe that they are not aware of the presence of dragons In our solar system,